Derek thought he beat the dealership. The dealership disagreed. He spent months preparing. Consumer reports, manufacturer invoices, forum threads from people who'd done it before. He wasn't impulsive, he was methodical, the kind of buyer who walks in with a folder. The sticker price on the car he wanted was $32,250. The invoice, what the manufacturer charges the dealer, was $29,900. After an hour of careful back and forth, Derek got them to $29,950. $50 above invoice. The salesman leaned back and said, almost reluctantly, "We're basically losing money on this deal." Derek drove home feeling like he'd solved something. He hadn't solved anything. He'd just reached the surface. A week later, his neighbor Travis sees the car in the driveway, loves it, goes to the same dealership, same model, same month. Travis walks out paying $32,350, $2,400 more than Derek. Same car, same lot, same salesman. The difference wasn't timing, it wasn't luck, it wasn't negotiating skill. It was 5 words Travis said when he walked through the door. "I'm paying cash, best price." He thought that was power. The dealership heard something else entirely. Here's what most people never see. The $50 profit Derek negotiated down to, that number is real, but it's also the only number you're ever meant to see. It's the front of the stage, and while you're watching the performance, the machine is running quietly behind it. Underneath every car deal are layers of profit completely invisible to the buyer. The holdback, a payment the manufacturer sends back to the dealership after the sale closes, typically 2 to 3% of the sticker price. On Derek's car, that's somewhere between $650 and $970. Right there, without Derek knowing, the dealership made 10 to 20 times what he thought they made. And that's before anything else. Then there are manufacturer bonuses for pushing overstock models. Volume incentives that make dealerships flexible at month's end, not out of generosity, but because they're chasing thresholds worth far more than any single sale. Regional rebates, floor plan subsidies, hidden costs covered by the manufacturer that push the dealer's real cost well below the invoice price Derek had studied so carefully. The invoice wasn't the floor, it was the ceiling of what they'd let you see. But even if you somehow mapped every one of those layers, you'd still be missing where the real money moves. Derek shakes hands. Price is locked. He thinks the negotiation is over. He's then walked to a back office to handle paperwork. This is the most profitable room in the building, and almost every buyer enters it with their guard completely down, because in their mind, the hard part is already finished. The person behind that desk is called the finance manager. Don't let the title mislead you. They are not a clerk processing your paperwork. They are the highest earning salesperson in the dealership, positioned in a quieter room at the end of the process, precisely because that's where the real transaction happens. Some dealerships are publicly traded companies. Lithium Motors, AutoNation, Penske, they file detailed financial statements, and those statements reveal something most buyers never know. The average gross profit on a new car sale is around $3,200. The finance office generates another $2,000 to $2,800 on top of that per car. The loan interest is marked up. The lender approves you at 4%. The dealer charges you 5% and quietly pockets the difference. The extended warranty sounds comprehensive until you read what it doesn't cover. Gap insurance is genuinely useful, but the markup is still substantial. Protection packages, documentation fees, registration markups, each one modest sounding, each one adding to a total that can reach nearly $3,000 in profit from a single back office conversation. Derek negotiated hard on the front end. He gave most of it back in that room, not because he was careless, because the room was designed for exactly that outcome. Now back to Travis. Travis walked in and announced he was paying cash. In almost every other context in life, that statement signals strength. No debt, no financing games, clean transaction. But a car dealership isn't most transactions. When Travis said, "I'm paying cash," the dealership heard something very specific. The finance office profit just disappeared. No interest markup, no warranty upsell, no gap insurance, no loan reserve. The most profitable part of the entire sale, gone before the conversation even started. So the dealership did the only rational thing. It recovered that margin somewhere else, on the sticker price. Travis got less flexibility, more resistance, and paid $2,400 more for an identical car. The cruelest part of this isn't the money. It's that Travis walked in thinking he had leverage. The behavior he believed made him powerful, the thing he'd probably been told his whole life, was the exact behavior that cost him the most. The machine doesn't just profit from people who don't know the rules. It profits most from people who think they do. Some buyers figure this out and think, fine, I just won't mention cash. That's a smart instinct. But the dealership is ahead of that too. There are filters built into the process specifically designed to reveal cash buyers. A clipboard early on asking how you plan to pay. A credit check framed as a qualification step. A loan application filled out before you ever reach the finance office. By the time you sit down to sign, you've confirmed your intent to finance 2 or 3 times without realizing you were being asked. The system doesn't wait for you to reveal yourself. It creates the conditions for you to do it voluntarily. So what do you actually do? You walk in as a financing buyer, never mention cash. This isn't deception. It's understanding the game that's already being played. When they hand you the clipboard, ask one specific question. Is there a loan origination fee? It sounds like you're comparing loan terms. What you're actually doing is confirming there's no upfront cost you'd forfeit by paying early. Negotiate hard on the purchase price. They'll be more flexible than they would with a cash buyer because they're expecting to recover margin in the finance office. Use that expectation. In the finance office, negotiate everything. The warranty, the gap insurance, the protection packages, the margins are real and they are negotiable. Before you sign anything, read the loan contract and confirm there is no prepayment penalty. Then sign the loan, drive home, pay it off. You financed the car, technically. You received the pricing that comes with being a financing buyer. You avoided the cash buyer penalty, and you paid off the loan before meaningful interest accumulated. The strategy works because it meets the system on its own terms, rather than trying to opt out of a game you can't see clearly from the outside. The sales floor feels like the battlefield. The tension, the waiting, the "let me check with my manager," all of it feels like the negotiation. But it's not where the money changes hands. It's where your attention is directed, while the real architecture of the deal is assembled elsewhere. Derek negotiated well. Travis thought he was doing better. Neither of them saw the full picture. That's not a coincidence. That's the design. Most financial systems aren't built against ignorance. They're built against the specific, confident behaviors that people adopt when they think they've figured it out. The person who researches the invoice price. The person who pays cash. The person who walks in with a folder. The machine doesn't fear the prepared buyer. It was built anticipating one. What changes? Everything isn't more information. It's understanding which game is actually being played, and recognizing that the moment you feel like you've won is often the moment worth examining most carefully.